It was one of those rare Sunday mornings where everything felt perfect. The sunlight poured through the curtains, casting a soft glow over the room. You lay comfortably in bed, nestled under the covers, while your husband Kim Taehyung, notorious for his playful and cheeky nature, was already plotting the day ahead. He shifted beside you, pulling you closer. Babe, how about we stay in bed all day? He murmured, his voice filled with playful intent. No plans, no work, just you, me, and He hovered over you, darting a mischievous smirk towards you. You laughed, gently pushing him off your body. Taeyong, we can't stay in bed all day. We have got things to do. Roll your eyes when he groaned dramatically, tightening his grip around you. He nuzzled his face in the nook of your neck, prepping soft feather-light kisses there. Oh, come on, it's Sunday. We deserve a lazy day. Besides, I have some plans for us. He lifted his head to meet your eyes and gave you a mischievous grin, the kind that always made your heart skip a beat. What kind of plans? You asked, raising an eyebrow, though you already knew the answer. He brought his lips closer to your ears and whispered in low tone. The kind that involves lots of cuddling, some movies, and maybe a little bit of. His voice trailed off suggestively as his hand found its way inside your shirt. His hand lingered on your stomach for a moment before trailing upwards, leaving tingles in its wake. His touch was warm and seductive as his fingers grazed at the underside of your bosom. Your toe curled inwards, your breathing accelerated as you felt a sudden rush of excitement in your body. But you knew if you gave in, he wouldn't let you get out of the bed. Thus, you grabbed his hand before it could trail more upward and make you lose all control. Don't even think about it. You warned him with wide eyes, though your heart was thumping wildly in your chest. Your body was reacting to his touch, getting equally excited, but you needed to stop him, or he wouldn't stop once he got a green signal. You pulled his hand out of your shirt. He whined loudly, dropping his head in the crook of your neck and biting your shoulder gently. Stop it and get out of the bed. It's already 11. The sun is up high in the sky. No, let's cuddle all day. The week was hectic and I need to feel you close all day today. He coiled his limbs around your body, straining any of your movements. Taehyung, let go of me. You groaned, twisting in his hold to break free from his tight clutch, but he didn't loosen his grip even a bit. Don't, he grumbled groggily as you grabbed his hands and tried to remove them. Despite his efforts to hold you close, you somehow managed to break free and got off the bed. Come back here. He swayed his hand, tried to catch your wrist. You stepped back and stuck your tongue out at him. Wake up, lazy bum. I'm going to take a shower. You chuckled as he whined and burrowed his face in the pillow. Shaking your head at your grumpy husband, you padded towards the bathroom. You halted at the door when an idea popped up in your head. Smirking to yourself, you softly called out for him. Sweetheart. He craned his neck head to look at you, a frown etched on his forehead, lips puckering in a sulky pout as he grumbled in annoyance. What? Wanna join me? You wriggle your eyebrows suggestively as you swayed side to side. His eyes widened in pure delight. He jumped out of the bed with a surprising enthusiasm. You shrieked loudly when he rushed towards you and cradled you in his arms. Gladly, he winked and stepped inside the bathroom, closing it with his feet. You traitor, he mumbled the same thing for the umpteenth times, making you roll your eyes at him. He had many expectations when you asked him to shower together, but his hopes came crashing down when nothing of that sort happened. You made him wash your long hair and only took a bath, much to his disappointment. Now you were sitting on the couch while he was lying there with his head on your lap, complaining again and again how you betrayed him. I am not a traitor, it's just you are high on your hormones all the time. Stop looking so tempting then. You make me lose control. You cast a spell on me in a way that I can't look at anywhere else but you and you only. You have corrupted my mind, you minx. Your lips parted and your heart skipped several beats. How were you supposed to react to that? Should you play it cool and roll your eyes or blush like a new bride? I can't win against you. He grinned ear to ear, reaching for your hand. He placed a few pecks on your palm, playing with the rings on your fingers. Do you want to go out somewhere, or shall I take you back to the bedroom? You narrowed your eyes at your smirking husband. He didn't only love you, he was literally obsessed with you. On lazy weekends like this one, he would stick to you like a second skin and would seek a single opportunity to claim you as his. Just as you decided to retort back, the doorbell rang suddenly, startling both you and Taehyung. He froze mid-moment, his brow frowning as he met your confused gaze. Who on earth could that be? He muttered, clearly annoyed by the interruption. He wasn't in the mood to entertain any guest. He just wanted you all to himself. I swear if it's another salesman. He gritted out, reluctantly sitting upright as he rose from the couch. He had a gut feeling that this might be an unwelcome distraction. You shrugged, heading towards the door. Let me check. Taehyung lay back down on the couch, frustration bubbling over. He felt as if the world was against him spending a little time with his wife. As you opened the door, you were greeted by the beaming faces of Taehyung's parents, their arms full of grocery bags. Surprise, his mother said, stepping into the house without waiting for an invitation. Oh, we were in the neighborhood and thought we would stop by, his father added, following closely behind. You blinked, caught completely off guard by their unexpected visit. Oh, hi, it's great to see you, you mumbled, giving them a small smile. Taeyong, hearing the voices, appeared behind you, his expression a mix of shock and frustration. His relaxed, playful mood vanished instantly. His parents, always cheerful but slightly overbearing, had arrived with no plans of leaving soon. Bags of groceries they had brought clearly hinted at their intention of spending the entire day with you both. Mom, Dad, what are you doing here? His mother laughed, oblivious to his tone. Well, we thought we would spend the day together. We brought groceries. I'm going to make lunch, and your dad wants to watch the game. Isn't that wonderful? You showed your desperate look as if to say, help me, but all you could do was shrug. You could see his frustration mounting as his plans for a quiet day with you were hijacked. He gave you a pleading look, clearly annoyed but too polite to express it to his parents. Wonderful, just great, I repeated flatly, forcing a smile. You pressed your lips in a thin line to control your laughter. He looked as if he would cry any moment. However, you blinked when his expression shifted to a teasing one. His mischievous side kicked in and you knew you were in trouble. He was determined not to let the day slip away without at least sneaking some moments with you. The day you both had planned was slipping away fast, and Taeyong wasn't handling it well. He was constantly trying to find little pockets of time where he could whisk you away from his parents. His mother had already taken over the kitchen, unpacking ingredients and directing you to help with chopping vegetables. His father had made himself comfortable on the couch, flipping through the TV channels to find the football game. He slouched beside you at the counter, sighing heavily. This is not how I imagined our Sunday, he whispered under his breath, just loud enough for you to hear. I know, but they won't stay forever, you whispered back, trying to suppress a smile. He looked so adorable with that grumpy look on his face, and you were enjoying every bit of his frustration. He glanced over his parents, who seemed settled in for the long haul. Are you sure about that? He muttered, clearly unconvinced. His eyes narrowed in anger when he noticed a slight smile on your lips. This isn't funny, He snapped in a low tone while you laughed silently. He jumped off the counter, towering over you. He glanced at his mother and seeing her busy in her own world, he grabbed your hand. You gasped. A horrified expression took over your face as you glanced at your mother-in-law. Taehyung, what are you doing? Mom is here. You whispered, yelled at him, but he remained unfazed. Sliding his hands around your waist, he yanked you closer and inched closer to your lips. Taehyung, no! You shook your head, looking back at your mother-in-law, who was oblivious to the scene going on behind her back. As his lips were about to meet yours, his mother suddenly called out, Ryan, are you done with the veggies? Startled, you pushed him away and stepped back. Yeah, you stuttered, swallowing in nervousness. She turned to face you, switching her gaze between flustered you and annoyed Taehyung. She said nothing and silently extended her hand towards you, asking you to hand over the chopped vegetables to her. You paused her the bowl, forcing out a smile at her. Is there anything else you want me to do, Mom? Taehyung snapped his head towards you. Though you didn't look at him, you could feel him boring holes through your skull. You knew he wanted to somehow take you away from his parents, but you couldn't just leave like that. Everything is mostly done, but could you marinate the chicken? You smiled in response and instantly indulged in the assigned task, while Taehyung again slouched on the counter, sulking like a moody kid. The lunch took another hour. Throughout the next hour, he kept trying to steal moments with you. He would playfully grab your hand whenever you passed by, trying to sneak you into another room for a few stolen moments. Whether it was cornering you in the kitchen while his mom was distracted or pulling you into the hallway for a quick kiss, he was relentless in his attempts to reclaim your day together. His efforts, though hilarious, were continually thwarted by his parents. His mother kept calling for you to help with the cooking, or his dad needed his help fixing something around the house. He grew increasingly mischievous, trying more creative ways to sneak away with you without being noticed. Like now, his mother had just gone out to use the washroom and he had you pinned against the counter, his head buried in the crook of your neck. Taehyung, please, mom would be back anytime and it would be so embarrassing. You tried to push him away, but he stubbornly shook his head, clinging to you even more. Your gaze kept flickering to the kitchen entrance. You didn't want his mother to catch you both in an awkward position. That would be so embarrassing. Just 5 minutes, he pleaded, his voice dripping with playful desperation. Come on, they won't notice. Your eyes widened when he tugged at your wrist, dragging you out of the kitchen. Then you know, are you insane? You twisted your wrist to wrench free from his grip, but it was too strong. Yes, Taehyung, could you come here for a second? His father called out from the living room right as he was about to sneak you upstairs. He groaned under his breath. I swear they have some kind of radar for when I'm trying to spend time with you. He grumbled, finally loosening his grip around your wrist. You laughed softly, giving him a quick peck on his cheek. We'll have our time, you reassured him before he trudged off to help his dad. You all sat down to have lunch together. You and Taehyung sat beside each other and his parents were across from you. He smirked as a mischievous idea popped up in his head. He brushed his fingers against yours and slipped his hand around yours, holding it tightly. Your pupils enlarged in shock, and you shot him a wan glare. You yanked his hand away, freeing yours from his hold. He frowned in annoyance and again tried to hold your hand, but you slapped it away. You glared at him, mouthing behave, while he just rolled his eyes. A few moments passed in silence and you let out a sigh, thinking you would have lunch peacefully without him interrupting you. However, your relief didn't last longer when you felt his hand creeping on your thigh. You choked on your food, coughing badly. Oh God, eat slowly, sweetie, she uttered in concern, sliding a glass of water towards you. Yes, love, eat slowly, the food is not going nowhere. He smiled at you, completely unbothered of the claws you threw at him. You took a few sips of water, finally calming down your racing heart. This time, when he tried to hold your hand, you didn't resist, knowing very well that he would pull another embarrassing stunt. Good girl, he whispered loud enough for you, only you to hear. Hours passed and the house buzzed with activity. He thought you would be free after lunch and he would take you away from them, but his mother was so ready to ruin his plans. His mother, ever the enthusiastic cook, had now moved on to baking a cake, roping you in as her assistant. You couldn't help but notice Taehyung sulking in the corner of the kitchen, clearly plotting his next move. You were throwing glare in your direction, signaling you to sneak out with him. But how could you when your sweet mother-in-law was teaching you how to bake? She was too adorable to say no. Finally, when the cake was in the oven, Taehyung decided to make a bold play. Alright, mom, we are going upstairs for a bit, a quick nap. We'll be right back, he announced, grasping your hand. His mother raised an eyebrow, clearly suspicious. A nap? At this time of the day? Your cheeks reddened in mortification and you twisted your hand in his grip. Yes, we are really tired, long week, he said confidently, pulling you closer. You shot him a look, but before you could say anything, he pulled your hand and started leading you up the stairs. Taehyung, you can't just pull me like that. What would mom think? Oh god, it would be so awkward to face her again. You hissed, palming your flushed face. You were embarrassed but amused by his persistence. They'll be fine, he whispered back, pulling you into a bedroom and closing the door behind you. He flopped onto the bed with a dramatic sigh, patting the spot next to him. Finally, some peace. You couldn't help but laugh at his dramatics. I can't believe you really said that. You went all out, huh? Desperate times call for desperate measures, he said with a grin, pulling you down beside him and hovering over you. You gasped at his sudden move, gaping at him with wide eyes. What? Don't even think about it. Your parents are downstairs and I would kick your ass if you embarrassed me more. You pointed your finger at him. He pressed a back on it and grinned at you. I'll gladly take your kicks, he whispered, pinning your hands on the mattress and inching closer to your face. But for now, you are at my mercy. Just as you were about to relax, a voice called out from downstairs. Taehyung, can you come here for a moment? I need your help. Taehyung groaned loudly, falling beside you, covering his face with his hands. You've got to be kidding me. You patted his arm sympathetically, suppressing your laughter. Come on, we better go help. As the afternoon wore on, Taehyung resigned himself to the fact that his plans for the day were completely derailed. His parents, oblivious to his frustration, continued to enjoy their visit, chatting away and filling the house with their energy. He made peace with the situation, but not without throwing you the occasional wink or teasing remarks when his parents weren't looking. The evening finally arrived, and after what felt like an eternity, the young's parents decided it was time to head home. They hugged you both at the door, his mother beaming at you. We'll come by again soon. You nodded, giving a wide smile to her. You looked at them as they settled in their car. She waved as they drove off. Taehyung closed the door with an exaggerated sigh of relief. I thought they would never leave. You laughed, leaning against the door. Well, they love spending time with us. He turned to you, a mischievous glint in his eye. Well, now it's just us. Finally, he pulled you into his arms, grinning ear to ear. You removed his arms and ran behind the couch, giggling playfully. Not yet. Catch me if you can. Raised an eyebrow, tilting his head, his lips twitching into a devilish smoke. You shrieked when he made a run towards you. You both laughed, running around the house until he caught you. Twirling you around, he picked you up in bridal style. Now, Mrs. Kim. You smiled up at him, hooking your arms around his neck. So, what's the plan now, Mr. Mischief? Plan. He nibbled on his lower lip, heading towards the stairs leading up to your bedroom. We pick up where we left off this morning. No interruptions, just you, me, and maybe a little bit of. You rolled your eyes but couldn't stop smiling as you curled up against him, finally enjoying the quiet you had both waited for all day.